Hey y'all, Scrambled Cristiano here. Everybody loves a good puzzle game. I mean, no console is complete without one.
Oh god, I did not expect.
And while puzzle games vary, they mostly stick to a 2D plane. You know, you got your Tetrises.
This shit is so ass.
Your Puyo Puyos.
This shit is so magnificent. Hey, it's me, Fat Dinosaur Man. Oh wow! What do you have inside of your backpack? Oh, I have drugs.
Look at this shit! How am I supposed to recover from this? No!
But yeah, as you can see, all these puzzle games have one thing in common. They all stick to a 2D plane. They might not control the exact same, but they stick to a 2D plane, and that's even the same when making the jump to 3D consoles. Take Puyo Puyo Fever, for example. Whoa, 3D graphics and all, but it's still just a 2D plane. You don't see much 3D puzzle games out there. But there are two games that actually try to shake things up a little, which leads into the topic of today's video. This is Ka-Blooey for the Super Nintendo. Where is it? What is this? Yeah, so I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but I'm not willing to pay a couple bucks just to play a game that I probably won't play again after this video comes out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to emulate this game. I'm sorry it had to come to this point. But anyways, now that I got that cleared up, let's talk about Ka-Blooey. Ka-Blooey was originally a computer game for the UK titled Bamboozle. It was ported to the Super Nintendo by Kemco, and apparently it was so good that it got re-released for Nintendo Switch Online. As a launch title for Nintendo Switch Online, no less. My expectations are through the roof then. Starting up the game, we see this thing. Ugh. Yeah, let me get the obvious out of the way first. This game looks ugly. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This game looks super ugly. To be fair, most puzzle games don't really focus on their art style too much. But comparing this to other puzzle games, especially with ones with actual art styles in them, yeah, it's a no-brainer. The same exact tile assets being reused over and over again, just with some slight color differences, the awful character sprites that look like something out of a Sega Master System game. It barely looks 16-bit, not to mention the colors are way too saturated. But enough nitpicking here. What about the actual gameplay? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, so Ka-Blooey isn't really 3D, or at least true 3D. It's played in an isometric view, and while when pausing the game you can see it in a top-down view, you can't actually fully play the game like this. It only stays like this for the pause menu, which really could have been useful. In fact, how do I know this? It was in the Japanese version of the game. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. In the Japanese version of the game, you're able to play it in a top-down view, without the isometric nonsense. This feature was removed in the American release. Why did they do this? God damn, it's Kemco. They love to make bad decisions. I haven't even talked about the gameplay yet. Okay, so basically in this game, you have to detonate all the bombs without killing yourself. Some bombs are bigger than others, and it's very fun. It sounds simple until you start to play the game. This is the game's biggest problem. The controls suck. Sometimes my inputs just don't happen, and other time D-pad inputs just swap out depending on the camera angle the level starts in. Isn't that just fun? Imagine you're playing Mario, right? And then when you get to a horizontal level, up and down equal left and right equal up and down. See what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. And it's not fun to fight back and forth with these god-awful controls. This is what ultimately lets the game down a lot. Guys, I tried. I really did. I tried like 9 times in a row. I just couldn't get past the second stage. The only redeeming quality about this game. The music actually smacks. Like, dude, that's really good. I really like it when they reuse the orchestra hit multiple times in each song. But ultimately, a good soundtrack can't save a bad game. And unfortunately, this is the case for Ka-Blooey. It's not good. I don't recommend it. Hello? No, there's no way in hell you're gonna make me play the PlayStation 1 remake. You see, kids, this is the part of the video where I play the PlayStation 1 remake. Yeah, so when I heard this game got a remake for PlayStation 1, I wasn't particularly happy.
No. Wait.
Until I saw the box art. Is that Kid Clown? Alright, so I'm not sure if you can tell by my profile picture or not, but I really like Kid Clown and Crazy Chase. I think it's a Super Nintendo classic, despite what some people say. Bro, Jared. So as soon as I found out that he was gonna be the main protagonist of the game instead of this blue thing, yeah, my expectations were a lot more higher than usual. Starting up the game, we actually get a little bit of a story, something that Ka-Blooey lacked because it didn't have one. We never knew what this guy was called or anything. He just sort of threw bombs at the end. Here's an actual story here. One day, Kid Clown was just chilling at his house until he gets a note from a police officer clown saying that he needs to get rid of all 6 bombs on the coordinates of Clown Island. I mean Clown Planet, fuck. So he does that. Groundbreaking story, I know. Starting up the game, you realize there's no more isometric crap. It's fully 3D! That is one of the biggest improvements from the original Ka-Blooey. The camera is actually very well done here. Using the shoulder buttons, you're able to move the camera up to 8 directions, swap between 4 different camera angles, and even do a top-down mode like in Ka-Blooey. The camera is very accommodating for the player, and I like that. The same rules apply as last game. Detonate all the bombs without killing yourself. Although, thankfully, the controls are a lot more better here. You are a bit slow and there is a little bit of input delay, but it's still better than what Ka-Blooey had to offer. Another thing I like about this game is that it doesn't overstay its welcome. Unlike in Ka-Blooey, where there's 130 levels, holy shit, this game only has 10 levels per world. And since there's only 6 worlds in the game, there's only 60 levels in the entire game. It makes up for it for the excellent puzzle design. Some of these puzzles are genuinely challenging, so I wouldn't blame you if you had to use the help mode. Oh yeah, this game has a help mode. It basically gives you a tutorial on how to beat the stage, but I didn't really know how to make a segue into this, so I'm just casually mentioning it now. But yeah, it's there. Another thing I can appreciate about this game is the variety in it. It doesn't make things complicated like in Ka-Blooey. The mechanics here are a lot more simple, and sometimes less is more, because they're really fun to use here. Some levels have bumpers, collapsing floors, and even conveyor belts. My favorite mechanic has to be, oddly enough, the ice physics in World 3. It's weird. Most of the time, ice physics are usually awful in games, but here I genuinely had fun with them. The music isn't as good as Ka-Blooey, but there are still some hidden gems in there. One more thing to talk about are the graphics. They're not gonna knock your socks off, but for what they are, they're pretty nice and pleasant to look at, and a far cry from what Ka-Blooey had to offer. Each location looks visually different from each other, unlike in Ka-Blooey where each tile had a simple palette swap. Not to mention, Kid Clown's 3D model looks pretty cute. His animations are very expressive and really well done. It reminds me of the Super Nintendo game. The game isn't perfect though. For starters, the controls can be tweaked up a little. Still not as bad as Ka-Blooey, but they aren't perfect either. Also, there's a password system. In 2001. And lastly, the ending doesn't really feel rewarding at all. After finishing the final stage, Kid Clown gets scolded by King Clown because he wanted him to simply remove the bombs and not detonate them. So he has to rebuild the islands. That's how the game ends, I'm not kidding. What kind of fucked up conclusion is that? I thought that was a bad ending at first, but no, that's how the game ends. Oh, and also you get a special password for 60 extra special stages. But if you finish the special stages, all 60 of them again, you get another password. And what is it? It's solitaire. Yep, it's just solitaire. Or I think it is. I don't really know how to play solitaire, so I can't really comment. But, yeah, I'm assuming it's just solitaire. Outside of those nitpicks, though, if you want to play an actual good version of Ka-Blooey or looking for a puzzle game that tries to shake things up a little, give this game a shot. It's actually really cheap to find nowadays, and you can definitely have a lot of fun with this. Whew, that was the end of another long video. What is this? Oh god, oh no. Hey, so sorry for taking really long on this next video. It's just school's been on my ass lately, like the last video, except it's gotten really bad. Don't expect me to be consistent with these type of reviews, but I'll try my best to not die and stay alive. That's it. Goodbye.